And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review. Today, I am reviewing Starfield, released in recently. I don't remember the exact year that it was released, but you might know Starfield as the game that. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because it was something at least along the lines of Starfield. If it wasn't Starfield, this is the game that all those people went crazy about and started streaming, and it was like a huge deal for a while. Am I right in that? I recall this being the game, and I didn't get to try it then, but the game is on Xbox Game Pass, and this is in fact the last Xbox Game Pass game review that I'm going to be doing because my subscription ran out, and so that's going to be it for me, unless I get another free one, which I think I have a free month left, and I have to find the code, and I don't even know if the code would work, but I might look into that. We'll see. But anyway, at the end of this video, with that being the case, I am going to give my thoughts on the Xbox Game Pass service as a whole, and say if it's worth it see if it's something that maybe I would endeavor in when I don't get a free trial, or something maybe you should get involved with too. So, but before that, first let's get through this game review. So I got a lot of thoughts. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Um, some good graphics. I say that about a lot of games that I play, but the graphics are really good. They pay a good attention to detail here, with a lot of the character models and a lot of the just as far as much as the stuff that the pew pew pew, that thing like that, they pay good attention to that, with this the space stuff and explosions and whatnot. They do a really good job paying attention to that. Um, but also, I think there are some. To be honest, though, not a lot of things that I was very in favor of. Number one, they stretch some pretty loose connections to drive the story along. Um, Things just tend. There's a lot of very convenient coincidences that happen with some of these characters to get them into a position where to drive the story along in that particular direction. And to me, I call bullshit on that actually being logical, because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The combat is also pretty inconsistent. I think this was one of the bigger pieces of frustration for me when it came to this game. It was extremely hard to adjust to the opponent moving, especially with the ships, especially when you were fighting ships. It was incredibly difficult. It was also really damn near impossible to avoid hits, because it's really hard to duck and cover, and you're completely surrounded for the most part, especially when there's multiple enemies, especially when it's large troops. This is more apparent on the ground, but it does happen in the ship too. And with the always the with the hard being adjusted, and also constant moving, it's really hard to land hits, and it can get pretty frustrating, especially the farther along you go in the game. It can get very tedious and frustrating because there's a lot of combat in this game, especially in the air, and that is really annoying. I also found to be very confused with the whole persuasion thing. It's not very well executed. It's an interesting concept, but it's not a very well executed thing in the game, in my opinion. There's a lot of times where it just didn't work well, or it just it felt more random than strategized, which is okay, I guess, but it didn't really you would have to set off a chain reaction, and then it would do it itself, either for no or for yes, and that was just weird. I also thought a lot of the areas, like the lands that you explore, I thought they were often full of a lot of nothing outside of small pockets of areas that you could either explore just to explore, or you had to go to progress the story along. And some of them didn't even have a lot of worthwhile stuff to do in it. You just kind of go through it, you hit a little bit of a story block at the end, and then you leave. It doesn't really. And a lot of the other areas, I didn't, because they were so fucking far away, I didn't take a whole lot of time to go and explore them. I kind of wish I could have, I guess. I mean, it would have been cool a little bit, but I don't know. Based off of what I saw in the main story areas, I don't know how well that would have worked, honestly. Or would have been really worth my time, to be honest with you. So that was pretty disappointing, for the most part. I was a little disappointed by that. I also don't. Okay, so we did the full thing. Kind of my conclusion. I really don't know why streamers went so crazy over this game. Maybe it's because it was new. I know this was supposed to be like this new universe, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be, for Bethesda and whatnot. Maybe that's why people went crazy. I don't know. I don't know at all. I guess I'll never know because my subscription ran out. But I got my fill of the game, so that doesn't really matter. This is another game that I really wasn't very compelled to buy after purchase. After the Game Pass subscription ended. In fact, none of the games on Xbox Game Pass I was compelled to purchase afterwards. The only one that I came close to wanting to buy was Battle for Bikini Bottom, which was the first Xbox Game Pass game review I did. That one I felt compelled to buy because I actually really liked the game and had some more nostalgic memories playing it when I was younger, when I had it on PS Plus, in fact. So maybe that's why. But otherwise, nothing really stood out to me. And speaking of this game, and just give it a score real quick, I'll give it a 5. I don't know. I wouldn't really feel compelled to buy it if I saw it physically or got it in another thing or whatnot. Just, I don't know, just didn't really live up to the hype, in my opinion. Maybe I put too much hype on it, who knows, but just didn't really live up to it at all. But yeah, that's it for this game review and for the Xbox Game Pass stuff. Give my full thoughts on it real quick. It was okay. Comparing it to PS Plus, I think PS Plus is better, and here's why. PS Plus, you get less games every month, but it's kind of a mystery of what you're going to get. And with the fewer games, you have more time to put time into those games, and you can explore them and maybe learn that you actually like them, when maybe if it was just a random large collection, you wouldn't really give it much thought. Whereas Xbox Game Pass has the advantage of having a giant library of games, but they don't change that much. Yes, they do sometimes switch games out, and sometimes some go away and some come in, everything like that. But it's not so much of a mystery, and you're kind of stuck with some of them. And so if you don't like a lot of the games, you're kind of stuck. To me, that's why I prefer PS Plus over Xbox Game Pass. It's both of them are good services in my opinion, but to me, I'd rather have like a more constant influx of games that maybe I can divert more attention to for the price you're paying, versus being stuck with a large library of games that I probably don't even care about, for the most part at least. So that's my full thoughts. And again, out of the games I did get a chance to play on the Xbox Game Pass, none of them I really was compelled to buy. Like, if I saw, even if I saw them all physically, except maybe Battle for Bikini Bottom. If I saw Battle for Bikini Bottom physically, I'd probably give it a purchase, but it would have to depend on the price. But that's probably about it. And I didn't get to try every game, obviously. There was a lot of games that either just didn't work on my computer, or I just never got around to playing, or I needed an EA Plus subscription or whatever the fuck it was to play the game. But I tried most of the ones that looked compelling and that I wanted to try. And for me, a lot of underwhelmingness, in my opinion. But anyway, otherwise, that's going to do it for this game review. If you have played Starfield, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more game reviews and other awesome stuff. And if you have your own thoughts, I'd love to know your thoughts about the Xbox Game Pass service. Let me know about it in the comment section down below. What do you think about it? How does it compare to PS Plus in your opinion? And which one would you prefer if you had to choose? Until next time, though, see you guys later. Goodbye.